Hey there, military enthusiasts. Today, let's dive into the fascinating history of one of World War II's most iconic tanks, the Panther. This German medium tank was a game-changer on the battlefields, and here's why. First off, the Panther was introduced in 1943, designed to counter the Soviet T-34. With impressive firepower, excellent armor, and superior mobility, it quickly became a formidable opponent. Let's talk firepower. The Panther was equipped with a powerful 75 mm KWK-42 L70 cannon. This gun was not only accurate but also capable of penetrating thick armor from a long distance. Enemy tanks often found themselves outmatched by its lethal precision. But firepower wasn't its only strength. The Panther also had sloped armor, which was revolutionary at the time. This sloping increased the effective thickness and helped deflect incoming rounds, enhancing its durability on the battlefield. Now, let's not forget mobility. Despite weighing around 45 tons, the Panther was surprisingly agile. Its powerful Maybach V12 engine allowed it to reach speeds of up to 34 miles per hour on roads and navigate rough terrain with ease. This combination of speed and mobility made it a versatile asset in various combat scenarios. However, the Panther had its flaws. Early models were plagued with mechanical issues, including problems with the final drive and suspension system. These issues were gradually resolved, but they did impact its reliability in the field. One of the most notable battles involving the Panther was the Battle of Kursk in 1943. Here, the Panther showcased its strengths, but mechanical failures and strategic missteps by the Germans limited its effectiveness. Despite these setbacks, the Panther continued to be a significant threat to Allied forces throughout the war. By the end of the conflict, over 6,000 Panthers were produced. Its design influenced post-war tank development, leaving a legacy that extended far beyond World War II. In summary, the Panther tank dominated World War II battlefields through its combination of firepower, armor, and mobility. While not without its issues, it remains a symbol of advanced engineering and tactical prowess. Time for details. The Panther tank, officially known as the Panzer V Panther, was a German medium tank that became one of the most effective and feared tanks of World War II. It was designed to counter the Soviet T-34 and was produced in large numbers by Germany during the war. Below are detailed aspects of the Panther tank. 1. Development and design. The Panther tank was developed in response to the success of the Soviet T-34, which outclassed earlier German tanks such as the Panzer III and Panzer IV. The T-34's sloped armor and powerful 76.2 mm gun made it a formidable opponent. The German High Command recognized the need for a tank that could match or surpass the T-34's capabilities. Development timeline. The development of the Panther began in 1941, with the first prototypes appearing in 1942. The tank was designed by Krupp, one of the major German arms manufacturers, under the leadership of Dr. Erich Müller. First combat use. The Panther tank was introduced in combat in 1943 during the Battle of Kursk, one of the largest tank battles in history. 1. Specifications. Weight approximately 45 tons, making it a heavy medium tank. Dimensions: length 7.0 meters with gun, width 3.4 meters, height 2.9 meters. Crew typically 5: commander, gunner, loader, driver, radio operator. Armor. The Panther had a highly effective armor design, with front armor sloped at a 55-degree angle and up to 80 mm thick. This made it highly resistant to enemy fire, especially at longer ranges. Side armor was 40 to 50 mm thick, and turret armor was up to 90 mm. The sloped design made it harder for shells to penetrate, improving survivability compared to earlier German tank designs. Armament. Main gun. The tank was equipped with the 7.5 cm KWK-42 L70, a long-barrel, high-velocity gun. This gun was highly effective against both Soviet and Allied tanks, capable of engaging targets at long distances. Secondary armament, a 7.92 mm MG-34 or MG-42 machine gun for close-range defense. Engine and mobility, powered by a V12 Maybach HL 230 P30 engine, producing 700 horsepower. Maximum speed of around 46 kilometers per h, 29 miles per hour, on roads, with a range of about 250 to 300 kilometers on flat terrain. The Panther's mobility was very good, with a torsion bar suspension system that gave it good cross-country performance, though mechanical reliability could be an issue early in production. 2. Combat performance. The Panther was one of the most successful German tanks in terms of firepower, mobility and armor protection. It had a significant impact on battles throughout the war, though it was not without problems. Effectiveness on the battlefield. The 7.5 centimeters gun was capable of destroying most Allied tanks at long range. It could penetrate the armor of the Soviet T-34 and the American M4 Sherman with ease. The sloped armor also gave it good protection against incoming rounds. Notable engagements. Battle of Kursk, 1943. The Panther made its debut here and played a significant role in the defense against the Soviet offensives. Despite mechanical issues, it demonstrated its superiority in firepower and protection. Normandy, 1944. Panthers were used in significant numbers in the Normandy campaign, where they faced off against Allied tanks and infantry. Eastern Front. The Panther was effective against Soviet armor, though its mechanical reliability was a problem, and it could be easily knocked out by Soviet anti-tank guns in some cases. 1. Problems and issues. While the Panther was an outstanding tank in terms of performance, it faced several issues that impacted its effectiveness. Mechanical reliability. Early versions of the Panther suffered from frequent mechanical failures, especially with the engine and transmission. These issues were partly due to the complexity of the tank's design and the rushed production during wartime conditions. Production issues. Despite being a superior tank, the production of the Panther was complicated, leading to delays and quality control problems. The initial production rate was slow, and only later in the war did the production numbers increase. Logistics and maintenance. The Panther was difficult to maintain in the field due to its complex systems and the lack of spare parts. It often broke down in combat, which limited its effectiveness. Fuel consumption. The Panther had a high fuel consumption, which combined with its heavy weight meant it required significant logistical support to keep operating in the field. 1. Variants. Several variants of the Panther tank were produced throughout the war, including Panther Ausf. A, the first major production model introduced in 1943. It featured improved armor and turret design. Panther AOSF-D, the first production version with a simpler turret and initial design flaws that were corrected in later versions. Panther AOSF-G, the most common variant produced from 1944 onward. It featured improved suspension, better hull and turret designs, and simplified production to make it easier to build under wartime conditions. Panther AOSF-F, a late-war variant with a more powerful gun, the 7.5 cm KWK-42 L100, though very few were built before the war ended. 1. Legacy. Despite the issues with reliability and maintenance, the Panther tank is remembered as one of the best designs of World War II. Its combination of firepower, armor and mobility made it a formidable opponent for the Allies. Over 6,000 Panther tanks were produced between 1943 and 1945, and it remained in service throughout the war. Post-war use. Some Panthers were captured by the Allies and used in post-war testing. The design influenced later tank development, especially in the Soviet T-44 and the American M26 Pershing. In summary, the Panther tank was one of the most advanced and effective armored vehicles of World War II. Despite its mechanical challenges, its performance in combat made it a key weapon in the German Army's late war efforts. Thanks for joining me on this journey into military history. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like, comment and subscribe for more deep dives into the machines that shaped our history. Drop a comment on what I should do next.